Showing off a fun little Falcon crit build which can end fights in under 5 seconds and has helped me climb consistently with my ranger. Hope you enjoy and let's get into it. Alrighty, here we go. Just starting off here, getting a little pig, a walrus tusk, actually pick up 2 and a short bow. Just making sure I grab items that I will use in my build or anything on sale. Because any item on sale I can actually sell back for its price. So here we get a whetstone and a fanny pack, which is excellent. The whetstones end up being used to create the Falcon Blade, and there is another bag I decided to buy just for more space later on. This fight goes pretty well, they don't have enough damage. Next turn I actually pick up a Goobit here. Goobit's great for healing early on, another pig for more economy because they are the best ways to make money early on. And I saved another lucky clover and another short bow, which will be used in the build. So here I've managed to upgrade my short sword into a long sword. Tusk poker is going to upgrade into get a second tusk poker. And I haven't really put my Goobit in the best spot here, but once I've upgraded everything, it's going to be a lot better. That round went fine. The second clover comes in. I make sure I lock my Goobit so I don't actually turn it into a steel one, which is something that happens to me quite often if I'm not paying attention. Getting more fanny packs because they're always great. A garlic is just kind of nice to have, especially as something else to proc the Goobit, and that just gets me more health. And the armor was on sale, so I decided to pick it up because I can always sell it back for the exact same price. So here, picking up a bag to give me some stamina. The gloves I will need later, 2 of them, to upgrade to the Falcon Blade. And the mana orb has no use now, but it was on sale, so I thought let's pick it up because I'm going to turn that into a moon armor or moon shield, which turns out to be the moon armor. More piggy banks, more fanny packs, they are always good to pick up. And here I find, oh look, I can sell my armor, switch it back, and now I have my moon shield. Moon shields, and I saved the holy shield in the store just so that way next turn I can pick it up, and those 2 together is part of your defensive core, which is going to keep you alive. I always go for Mega Clover with this build, it makes the most sense. Getting another backpack to increase my stamina, which is always just nice to have. I can't actually pick up the holy shield this turn, and Blood Amulet on sale, I'm umming and erring about it, and I actually do pick it up to turn my Goobit into a Blood Goobit this game. I thought I'll give it a try, and you do get quite a lot of procs, so it is pretty good. Now this is one of the builds that is very difficult to beat because the Pyromancers actually just take all your thorns and turn it into attack speed, which is pretty brutal. Here I've got a lot of good things, stamina pack, trying to reorganize my build a little bit. So, sorry, the stamina sack. I've also saved more clovers and the mana orb there. So here we're versing a poison build. These can get pretty scary with the amount of poison that they rack up, and I don't have enough damage just yet to break through. But I finished my Falcon Blade. So that is half of the puzzle now done. So you're picking up the carrot just so I get a bit more, remove some debuffs that I might get, some nasty ones. Here I'm trying to reorganize my bag. It is always one of the fun parts, and I recommend at least once a game you just want to pull everything apart and just figure out how am I going to put this all together. It takes a little while, but I try to have 2 procs at least on the Falcon Blade and then have the fanny pack sitting out to the side. That's a way that the Djinn lamps, which is the other core piece of this build, will have the opportunity to proc. So here you can see I've got the armor for those all sitting next to each other. The Mega Clover finds a spot because you definitely want that just to make sure you get those lucky clovers because you're going to need 20 of them at some point, or 20 luck, which is easier said than done. I can't get all the pigs in there, so lose out on a bit of economy, but I managed to fit in all the things I want for the build. This one is a pretty tight fight, but I'm not going to get there. Now I finally get more space, and Here, trying to roll, I found my lamp, so I sell my first pig and I decided to put it in. So here I'll actually move a few things around, just trying to figure out how the best put it all together. And I want to try and get the lucky pig to affect my shield when I can, because that will create a proc that will actually increase the moon shield's chance to block, and which screws up a lot of builds if they don't have high stamina. So there you probably saw the first instance of me doing some pretty ridiculous damage, and you're wondering, wait, where does that come from? Well, it's actually all from that Djinn lamp buffing the Falcon Blade. And I'll go more into that at the end and really break it down on why all this shenanigans are going on. But more or less, you get double the benefits from the Djinn procs on your Falcon Blade because it attacks twice. So here he's got quite a lot going on. My Falcon Blade did not proc this fight, but I do have a lot of thorns. And luckily he has a lot of attacks that don't do that much damage, so he ended up more or less killing himself in that one. So in this one here, I'm trying to get these lucky pigs in a way where I can get as many as possible around that shield. And any other ones that I can't, I put them on the tusk pokers, so I get a few more thorn procs from them. Going on, this was a big battle axe, which is always scary, but my Falcon Blade is now starting to pop off, and that is a good sign for me. So I finally found some more things to add into space, and here I go for a stamina potion, and this try to put it where I've got the potion bag, because it does remove a debuff when it procs, and it also means that I should be able to keep hitting with my Falcon Blade towards the end. So this is a poor opponent that just got crit down very quickly, unfortunately. But that's the way the cookie crumbles in that sense. Here I'm just reorganizing my build. I go for a helmet, which increases my survivability at the start of the fights. And here I'm going to try and put as many pigs around that shield just to get that extra proc. And a moon orb, because I have the space, it's going to give me a bit of mana, and it actually gives me more armor at the start of the fights as well. So there's just straight away in a few seconds. Oh look, 5 seconds. I'll see if I can survive to round 18. Get all the way there. A few more lucky clovers. I'm actually very close to the point where I'm going to hit my critical mass of 20 luck. And you'll find that it works against many opponents, and it makes for some pretty amusing aspects. So here I'm actually counting out how much luck I have, and I don't have enough to get 20. So I should start the fight with, well, 17. So even with those 2 clovers, I didn't have the 20 I needed. But I wanted to get the stone helmet as 120 crit. Not bad at all. And that was only on the first hit it did. So actually it didn't even get its second attack off. So here, going to try and find something to put in the last spot, and a stamina bag is excellent, as now I have 11 stamina. That stamina potion doesn't really proc much in this sense. But I need to put in just one more. So here I've just counted out I needed 20 total, and I have exactly 20 luck, which will instantly proc a Djinn lamp as the fight starts, and do things like this. So fight lasted 4.2 seconds. Shenanigans were had. I ended up with 90 damage per second. That's okay. I can get higher than that. It just needs, the longer the fight goes, the worse it gets for the opponent. It's great. And now my build is kind of just finished. So this is the last fight. It only lasts 3 hits, and yeah. And here I'm just going to go into the breakdown and show you guys everything that happens. Alrighty. Welcome back, guys. That was the last fight. It went quite well, as expected. Didn't last that long, because the Berserker went pretty low on the armor, and ended up finishing with 101 crit, but it didn't actually get its second hit off, so the damage per second's a bit lower than could be. Yeah, the way that this build works is you get 20 luck, it procs a Mega Clover, And that procs your Djinn lamps because you get all the buffs. So here's all the lucky clover procs that I get. And the lucky pigs, the lucky clovers, they give you a bunch of luck, which is great. As soon as you hit the 20th one, your mega clover procs. And it's going to give you a bunch of different buffs. And if it gives you any thorns, well, the Djinn lamp gets very hungry and eats your thorns, which then gives you damage to the Falcon Blade. There's 7 different buffs you can get, and you get 40 in total, so you can get a bit of something. So straight off the bat, my Falcon Blade is already dealing 36 to 37 damage. Twice, with a 100% crit chance. So if that hits once, that's 120 damage-ish. The Tusk Pokers immediately will attack pretty quick because they got the attack speed buffs from the Falcon Blade. Same with the Djinn lamps. So Djinn lamps are triggering every 1.28 seconds. That is a lot quicker than the usual 2 seconds that they normally do. And through that, you're just getting an insane amount of procs of spikes and mana and whatever you need. And that is why I've gone for 2. I'm actually going to change it up next time I play and try with 3 Djinn lamps and only 1 Tusk Poker, just for a bit of a stamina, managing that a bit better. And with the crit, even though I've had now 2 procs in the Falcon Blade, my luck has actually gone down to 13, but I still maintain a 100% crit chance. Well, the maths there ends up at 10 plus 3 times 13 plus 5 times 13, which is over 100. So that gives a lot of damage, and yeah, I crit him for 74, which is, it's going to hurt. Mana is taken care of by the Moon Shield, which is great. And so you'll never really have an issue with that one. It's a great item if you can get a few magic things around it, and Djinn lamps, Moon Shield, and the orbs. The orbs only are there to buff up the possible magic armor, which then triggers the Moon Shield, which that gives you a bunch of mana, and it makes your Moon Shield 30% better. And if you can see, on attack, 56% chance to prevent 12 damage. Well, it's never actually 56. It's normally only meant to be 35%. But these lucky pigs give a 15% increase to the Moon Shield's benefit. And is actually doing this to the Tusk Poker, giving it a little bit more chance to make a spike. I have a few fruits there because they're very easy to have and proc reasonably quick for my Goobit, which helps. It's not necessary, but it's nice to have. There we go. There's at 3.5 seconds, I get another Falcon Blade proc, putting it 63 to 64 damage, hitting twice. Crit chance has gone down a bit, but it should crit on one of those hits, so you're still looking at quite a lot of damage. And I end up hitting him for 100. Now that's because he's in Battle Rage, and with the boots he's got on, he takes a bit less damage. But hope you all enjoyed that. This has been a way that I've survived to round 18 quite a few times and slowly been climbing up. And take care, and I hope to see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Bye.